10-0. Now, Nekros is a weird topic to make a video about because generally people just use him for loot farming, and that's really it. But the thing is, Nekros could be a really nutty tank if you build him for it. I'm currently building for him to be a really good tank. Let's just go straight into the mods so you get to see what I'm trying to work with and see where you could try to go for. Now, as you can see for the abilities, everything is standard besides the Archons. If you're a new player, don't worry about any of the Archons or subsume abilities, because Chroma could just tank by himself already in early game to all just basic star chart. Plus, he's a really good loot frame. But end game, of course, I have Gloom just so he could just not die. As for the build, it's kind of over the place. It works for me. So basically, this is what I'm rocking with. Two augments. You could probably remove this spoil if you're just going for a pure tank, but I like to get extra loot while also tanking. Shield of Shadows, really good for just overall tankiness. It's really great. It just basically makes it where your shadows take the damage for you if you're near them. Plus, it kind of scales off a range, so the higher your range, the farther you could kind of go away from them. It's really good. And then just pretty much just decent strength. You really have to really build them for much besides high range. So your desecrate could just affect farther. But he's really good. Arcane, don't worry about the arcanes. If you're a new player, the augments are really easy to get by. You could get them for like 10, 20 platinum off the market. But you really don't need to. You could just build them for a standard build. Don't have one, of course, because I never have a standard build when I need it. But end game build, I have Arcane Energize just for decent energy economy. Honestly, I don't really need it, but since I'm constantly recasting the 4, so I can keep the shadows alive, I kind of do need to keep my energy economy in check. And Arcane Blessing just for more health. It's really good. Now I'm just gonna show you how much damage you can really tank. Hold up. Maybe make sure actually. You could definitely remove more strength because she really nothing really scales off strength besides your summons. So you could definitely replace this with like say adaptation, which I'm gonna do because that's actually a smart move. Uh, Boom, just less power strength overall, but you got adaptation now. It's not maxed out. I gotta max this out. But boom, even more tankiness. Now we're just gonna do a damage check, but for myself because Nekros does have an armor strip, so you can do decent amount of damage against enemies. So let's just boink, get the health. The more health orbs I pick up, the more health I get. Now I got 2,000. Before I even start, maybe make sure I got some enemies at least. You're gonna have to dual cast if you don't have like high enough power strength for Terrify. But Terrify is honestly a really good armor strip, as you can see. Now let me unpause the AI so you can see this. Just the pure tankiness this man can have, bro. Activate Gloom. Now I could just basically stand still and just relax. Because I really don't take damage. As you can see, I'm taking little to no damage. Plus I have adaptation as well. And now if I need health, I could just... Look at that. You could just generally not die now. Energy might be a problem, but in Steel Path, that really doesn't matter because you're... At that point, you have Arcane Energize and other stuff to get energy, like energy source. But it's really good for just generally tanking. Recast before so you can keep your shadows alive. You can also have Desecrate on just passively as well. Of course, just use Terrify the armor strip as well, so you go. Terrify just makes it where enemies run away from you. I might put the third augment on here where they just stay still. But he just won't die if you build him right. He's really tanky. Not the best tank, of course. Wow, because you have to build him to be like this. unlike other frames where it is tanky at base with their abilities. But yeah, you could definitely have more uses for him. To just does grinding. You could definitely bring him into Steel Path. If you really like Nekros' design and his whole Schmidt, like of like resurrecting the dead and having an army of undead with you, because I that's pretty dope. That's really cool. Um, you could definitely build him for a tank build with Terrify being a really good thing for you to do more damage against your enemies. It's just really, really good. Necros overall, no problems. His passive, I think his passive is literally straight up the every kill. Yeah, every restore five have 5 health with every enemy death. So stack that up with gloom, and then you're not dying. You're not dying. There's probably more better tank builds out there for this overall more efficiency. This overall, this more just like better. But it works. I brought it into a high arbitration. I think it was like a 1 hour arbitration survival. It did well. I also did one like a 1 hour survival on Steel Path. Really good. Generally, he doesn't die. Xmas units doesn't really matter. Nullifiers, be wary of them, of course, but as long as you don't get close to them, you're fine. Um, Overall, pretty good. Might put more Archon shards in here just for like three red ones, so just more duration. Well, not duration. I might just put more power strength just overall, so Terrify could do a full armor strip without me needing to double cast. But overall, standard, pretty good build. Necros, generally good. No complaints. He's the best boy. He's literally one of the best frames. S tier. I don't care what people say. S tier frame, because you can make him as a tank. Normally people just play him as straight up just let me go grind over here for a couple hours and that's it. That's all people use him for. But you could definitely build him for a tank, so you could take him into general gameplay, so you could just do other activities, you know, without feeling that you're not contributing to the team because you're not dying and Terrify is a really good armor strip. It's really cool. Plus, having a Necros on your team really is beneficial because Desecrate is always just good to have. Just extra loot, right? Might as well. It's really good. Re-showcase the build. Nothing too special. New players could honestly copy this. Besides adaptation, adaptation might be a little bitch to get because the only way for you to get this is in arbitration, or to use your steel essence to buy it off the arbiter of hexes. But that you won't not get this unless you buy it off the market for 20 platinum. You could definitely get this. There's a rank 0 20, rank 0 for 20 platinum. As for everything else, yeah. The arcane, not the arcanes, the augments. You could also not really, you don't really need this as well for just a standard build. Just replace everything I have here, like prime continuity and adaptation to spoil and shield of shadows for just other mods that you might have. That overall might increase his strength or his efficiency if you really want to use your Shield of the Dead more. Not Shield of the Dead, Shadow of the Deads. But sorry, I had to stretch. But overall, pretty good. No complaints. Really good. Channel news now. Best part of the video. Gotta love this. Um, not much to say. Not much to say. Warframes are coming up. Don't know. I can't really tell you a Warframe I'm gonna review next because boom, Colorvo still work on it. Colorvo's gonna take a bit because, like I said, I want to get the Kuvahek. I can just make the video without the Kuvahek and just replace it, but I really want to test out this build I have because I know the Kuvahek is a really good weapon. It's really good for single target uses because it's a shotgun. It's most of the time shotguns are just for single targets, but Colorvo doesn't really care about that since he's able to spread damage with his 3, if I'm not mistaken, or if it's his 2. I think it was his 2. But I'm working on it. It's working. I'm close. I just got to Kuva. Kuva liches are a bitch. Other than that, no other channel news. Channel keeps on growing. Proud of that. It's awesome. Um, Still working on streams. I'm still trying to figure out what content I want to be streaming on. What content I want to do while streaming. Because while you're streaming, this is a whole different ballpark than just recording videos and posting on YouTube. Just a whole different thing. I just want to get that set up. and make sure everything goes well for that. Um, I'm gonna try to get a improve my setup, so like get new equipment. So editing equipment definitely gotta get like a tablet, not a tablet, a laptop or just a low power PC, so I could just edit shit now. So most of my videos aren't just scuff, random shit and random words coming out of my mouth, or like me stuttering and losing focus on something. Like definitely that happens a lot in my videos. So definitely gotta get editing equipment and start making more scripts. But other than that, you guys have a good one. I'll see you guys in the next one.